You may not like what I'm about to say, but you don't rise in the workplace because of your ideas alone. You rise because of who believes in them. Before Nehemiah built a wall, he built relationship. Before you launch, pitch, or lead, map your stakeholders, because influence isn't just about visibility alone, it's about alignment. Hey, my corporate besties, welcome to the Corporate Parable, where biblical wisdom meets boardroom reality. And welcome to our YouTube channel. If this is your first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on your notification button so for every time we upload a video, you'll be the first to get notified. We've currently been running on a series called Your First 60 Days. It could be at work, a project, or a season. And we had our first episode, Be the Daniel of your workplace. Our second episode is Decode the Culture Before You Deliver. And if you've not watched any of those episodes, please click on this button and make sure to go and watch it. So watch those episodes so you can follow us along this journey. And in today's episode 3, hold on. If you've ever felt blocked, overlooked, or unsupported at work, this episode is for you. We're talking about stakeholder mapping 101. You need the right stakeholders in your corner. So, many may not know this, but do you know Nehemiah wasn't a prophet or a priest? He was a cup bearer in the Persian court, more like an advisor. You remember last week we spoke about Paul. Previous week we spoke about Daniel. So today Nehemiah is our character study, and this is such an interesting character. When Nehemiah heard that the walls of Jerusalem had fallen and had broken, he felt sad. He was depressed. He cried. He prayed, because those are his people, right? It's just that he wasn't in Jerusalem as at that time. And in the process of praying, he needed to go back and rebuild the wall. So after he prayed and he knew that he had the backing of God, he didn't just stand up and say, I want to go and rebuild my walls, or I want to go and rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. What Nehemiah did was he sat down and planned. He mapped out his strategy. Yes. And why am I saying that? Because he needed to get permission from the king. He was obviously the cupbearer, and you cannot just leave your place of assignment just because there's another area or place that needs you. You need to take permission, and that was what Nehemiah did. But before he even appeared in the king's presence, he had already mapped out all the things that he needed and what he wanted to ask for. So he planned early, and he was very smart about it. See what happened? Just listen to this story. He got into the king's presence. He was looking sad, depressed, and all gloomy. The first thing that the king noticed was his countenance. Now, it made me to wonder, if the king noticed his countenance at the first glance, that means Nehemiah was someone who was, first of all, a person of noble character, or even somebody that was always like joyful, happy, smiling. You won't maybe see him at any point in time sad. So, but this one was an unusual moment that even the king noticed it. But guess what? Do you know, even when Nehemiah went to the king's presence, he didn't go smiling. And not because he intentionally didn't want to smile. Obviously, he felt bad. He wasn't going to smile. But if he looked as though he was unbothered, do you think the king was even going to notice that? No. So that's strategy number 1. He went there looking not happy. And the king said, you don't look sick to me, but you look like something is bothering you. Opportunity comes. Yeah. So Nehemiah knew that was the right time for him to make his request. In Nehemiah chapter 2 verse 6, he said, because the hand of the Lord was upon me. This was what happened. When the king asked, Nehemiah said, I just got the news that our walls, my people, the walls of Jerusalem had broken, and he's coming to the king's presence now. He needs, guess what he asked? He didn't ask for one. I told you that he had planned and he had strategized before even getting to the presence of the king. So he didn't ask for one thing. he obviously needs permission to leave. He didn't just ask for permission. If it was someone that didn't plan, he'll just come and ask for permission, and then he'll miss out on the other opportunities that he would have gotten, right? But because he was smart enough, applied wisdom to plan ahead, he asked for permission, one, he asked for protection, two, and he asked for resources, three. He knew that the king had power. He had the right relationship and the right influence for him to know what to ask for. Yes, we've spoken about permission. Obviously, he's working there, right? So he needs permission to go and rebuild the wall. Secondly, he asked for protection. And because he was strategic enough to know that he was going to meet blockers and challenges on the way, he wasn't going to pass it wasn't a straight, direct route. He would meet different governors in each and every step of the way. And because he knew that, guess what he asked for the king? He told the king to give him letters to each of these governors for easy access. So the king had given him all the letters so that for every time he gets to a particular governor, he has a letter. Here's my letter from the king. Yes, so that's what happened. And he asked for resources. Resources in the sense that how was he going to build the walls? Where was he going to get resources from? So he told the king that he needed a letter also to the chief who was overseeing the timber area. And the king didn't just give him that letter. He sent people to make sure that they helped him to ship or move the timber and give him all the resources, people resources, timber resources, so that he could go and build the wall. So Nehemiah knew when to ask, how to ask, and what to ask for. And that's why he said the hand of God was upon him, because he was highly favored. Do you know, he had that confidence to the extent that when he got to Jerusalem and then people were trying to criticize him, that's Sanballat and Tobias, he was confident enough to reply them because he had the backing of the king. Now, that is being smart and mapping your stakeholders. Let's bring it into today's world today. This might actually change the way you think. Like in today's workplace, you might not be rebuilding the wall like Nehemiah, but you're launching a new project, a new initiative, or even a new policy change. Or maybe you're trying to shift the culture. Yes, you don't just need ideas alone. And just like Nehemiah, you need the right people behind it. And in today's workplace, influence isn't just about the title alone. It's about trust. You might even have the right data, the clean deck, even the right idea, but without building your relational equity, those ideas won't move. And you might be wondering, what is relational equity? In my understanding of relational equity, I'm just going to liken it to having a mortgage, and over time, the value of your mortgage grows, that when it's time for you to sell, you can get equity out of it, right, as an extra. So building your relational equity, or it's also like having an emergency fund that as at the time you need it for something, you know where to go and source your fund for. So in all of that, that is you building your relational equity, having the right people in your corner. You need it to more. You might, in fact, you will need it when you don't need when you think you don't need it. Now, have you ever wondered why a particular project has stalled or delayed because they said, you've not gotten the right sign-off from this particular person, and then it takes you forever to get that thing signed off? Or you see a colleague that doesn't even have the best idea, but they've gotten the stakeholder buy-in faster enough, faster than you think. You may be wondering, guy, that is not politics, that is wisdom. It is stakeholder mapping in action. So in your current workplace today, what you should be thinking of every single day is, how do you map your stakeholders? Because you might have the right idea, but if you don't have the right people backing you, that idea won't move. So if I was to start from today again, if I was to start from ground zero, here's what I'll do differently. With these 4 frameworks that would work for you, it has worked for me. I've had experiences with some, and I'm still building on some because it is an ongoing process. It doesn't stop. Now, the first one is identify your power grid. You might be saying, what is power grid? You know, those people, those decision makers, those people that hold the pen, those people that once you get their signature, that thing will move. Those are your power grid. But how would you know? You have to identify them. You have to ask the right questions. You have to know who are these people that hold the key and that hold the power in your company, so that you don't go around in circles and circles and circles and trying to get things signed off when you just need the signature of one person. I'll give you this experience that I've had, not necessarily in my like corporate space, but this is an experience I had during my undergraduate study. I was going to do something that would determine the progression of my education. Now, prior to that time, I had gotten myself involved in school politics, and I wanted to be part of the student council. And as at the team I was with, there was a particular lady that she's not a student. She's more like one of the leaders of the school. She supported our team, so she knew me as a then who was vying for this particular position and all of that, even though we didn't win. So I needed something urgently, and I needed that particular lady's signature because her signature held the key to what I wanted to achieve as at then. And then one of my colleagues, who I happened to be close with, knew her directly and was like, he could go to her office at any time. He had that easy access. And then when I spoke to him, he said, just come with me. 1, relationships. Stakeholder. I followed him and we got to this lady's office. And she looked at me and she was like, oh, how are you? How are you doing? And I smiled. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm okay. And then the person helped me to speak as to what I needed from her and the request. And she looked at me. I was like, why didn't you come and meet me directly? Do you know what? It didn't take up to 5 minutes. This lady signed that thing for me. That was the signature I needed. That was just what I needed to get that thing done. Now, that is what you call the people that hold the power grid. And that is who you should be looking out for in your company, in that organization where you work. Especially if you have that idea, you need to launch a product or launch a deliverable. You need to find out who are the right people that you can build that relationship with, even ahead of time, because sometimes you might not even know. Like me now, I didn't know that I had that relational equity. I had built it, but I didn't know I was going to need it at the dying time, just in that sense. So yes, you need to find out who your power grids are. That's number 1. Number 2, understand their currency. I don't mean currency as per exchange of money and all of that. Every organization, apart from the organizational chart that you need to understand the people that you're interacting with, those stakeholders. You need to understand their currency. And you might be wondering, what do you mean by understand their currency? Let me break it down. So, you know that there are some people that just like it. Give me straight to the point. Just give me that one page and let me go. What update do you have for me? Is that it? Just give it to me. But other people, they want you to what? Break it down step by step. Who are the stakeholders? Who did you meet? How did you navigate it? You need to understand these 2 sets of people, or even people that like recognition. You might work with them on something and they want you to acknowledge them, and then you give them recognition. You need to understand these people's currency. I'll give an example. So, as part of one of my experiences, I had a particular line manager that, as at the time I joined the company, I didn't understand her, right? And for every time I get to meet with her, maybe have my one-on-one section with her, and then I'm talking. I mean, I can talk when I have to talk, I talk, and sometimes I get into the detail. And Anytime I meet with her, I'm talking, I'm telling her. And then on not one, not two occasions, I noticed her countenance and how she would respond. Okay, so what happened? Just give me, just and there was a time because I had noticed that, luckily, and thank God, I was smart enough to have figured that out earlier. And so there was a particular time I had a section with her and I asked her, I want to understand how you work, or what are your expectations? What do you need with regards to, if I have to update you, what do you want and what don't you want? She said, Gay, you don't go into the detail. You like to, and I'm like, okay.
God have mercy upon us.
I apologize to him, like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you just wanted straight to the point, like da. Just give me as it is, right? On the other hand, I have another stakeholder that if you need to update him, tell him end to end, start to finish. Who did you meet? What tools did you use? And all of that. So when I had those experience between these two people, now I know that if I'm to meet with this lady, this is what she needs. Pa, ABC. Start, result, challenges or blockers. But if I have to meet this other person, I give him a proper deck. So I give her a one pager, I give him a deck. Those are understanding their currency. There's a thin line between mixing both. You give the one that wants a deck a one pager, and you give the one that wants a one pager just a deck. So you have to be smart enough to figure that out. Number 3 is build trust before you need it. Don't wait until it's last minute before you're trying to build trust. You build trust at a point even when you don't need it. Remember the example I gave you of that particular lady that I needed her signature. I built my trust even before knowing it. So even when you think it's not, you're not embarking on, or you're not having a like real deliverable that need people on, you have to build your trust. What I mean by that is, regardless of what you do, learn to share your wins, no matter how small, even if it's progress updates. And then maybe you get the chance to speak to a particular stakeholder, and then you guys are just talking about what you do. Blow your trumpet, give that update, build that trust in that stakeholder before you need it. Because at a time when you would then need a particular stakeholder sign up, especially one stakeholder who is skeptical, maybe it could be that stakeholder that you've been having conversations with, but because the person has seen your progression over time, you have built the trust of that stakeholder. So for number 3 is build that trust before you need it. Build the bank. Have the right people, like I said, in your corner. So by the time you need a stakeholder buy-in, you already have it. Imagine Nehemiah now. Do you know he had built the trust of the king before he needed it? Yes. Why did I say so? Because when he got into the king's presence and he made that request, the king didn't hesitate, because he knew the person of Nehemiah. Nehemiah has worked for him. Nehemiah is working for him. So he knows who Nehemiah was, for him to be able to trust him with what he asked for. So build the trust before you need it. And number 3 is maintain the map. You're sure you're wondering, what do you mean by maintain the map? You know that people change, right? And stakeholders shift and move roles, and it's not static. So whilst you're mapping your stakeholder, you have to keep it updated. Your map, your your stakeholder map should be a living document, because today an analyst today can be a lead tomorrow. So you have to constantly check and update your map, so that by the time you need something, it's not when somebody that is your peer today can be a manager tomorrow. So continuously maintain your stakeholder map. And myself, I do it all the time. You have to keep yourself updated with the happenings, and don't just be working alone. Don't be working alone, or they call it working in silos. Oh, me, I just want to come and do my work and go. Map your stakeholders, maintain the map, because you might need certain people that you don't think you need. And don't depend on one particular one, because today they might tell you that stakeholder has left, and then in your head you're wondering, So who is my next person? But if you're continuously updating your map, you won't be caught unawares. So maintain your map. So let's look at this analogy: gardeners and firefighters. Some people, they wait for crisis, other people plant gardens. Firefighting, firefighters, what do? They react when there's a fire or when there's a situation, right? But for gardens, they prepare and they cultivate and plant before it grows. Now, stakeholder mapping is gardening. You plant your relationship before you eat the fruits. Nehemiah didn't wait for crisis, he cultivated favor. This week, sketch your stakeholder map. Who are your decision makers? Who are your gatekeepers? Who are your blockers? Who hold the key? You have to know and build your relational equity even before you need it, so you don't get that project to delay just because you haven't built your stakeholder equity. Update your stakeholder map, update it. So drop in the comment section and let me know if you've had a particular stakeholder that made your project to stall because you didn't get their sign off, or if you already have your stakeholder map and you're going to update it. Just let me know in the comment section. Let's keep building wisdom that works. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Once again, click on your notification button so for every time we upload a video, you be the first to get notified. See you. Bye bye.